we probably won't be able to teach as much or give as much of an in-depth explanation about certain aspects as these quantum computing professionals that have been doing it for, they've studied it since college. So it's like a good balance between the two. We believe will help high schoolers learn and have a positive experience.
Hey everyone, this is Devin Miller here with another episode of the Inventive Journey. I am the patent and trademark attorney that helps startups and small businesses, as well as a serial entrepreneur. And we're here with the Inventive Journey to tell the different journeys of those that are inventive and doing different startups and businesses and have different ideas. So today we have a special guest on, bit out of the norm in the sense that she's still in high school. But her name is Nidhi. Is I say it right, Nidhi?
Yeah.
Okay. So she is a sophomore, right? And you got a sophomore, a couple other people in your team that are sophomore and freshmen, and you guys actually at a what I would say a younger age, although every day I feel a little bit older. But you guys got into quantum computing while you're still in high school, and are building started out going to do a hackathon or hackathon. And then also we're building a community to help others that are in high school and that to get involved with quantum computing. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So why don't you tell everybody a little bit, and we talked a little bit before, but kind of walk everybody through a little bit of how you got in, or it's a bit abnormal, or at least it's awesome, but to get into quantum computing at such a young age, but maybe how you guys you got yourself and a couple of your friends that are doing it, how you got into it, how you got involved with it, and then what you guys are doing right now.
So me, my friends Anisha and Pranav, we are in this program called TKS, which is basically introducing new emerging technologies and entrepreneurial skills to high schoolers. And we all started focusing on the topic of quantum computing. And I think sometime in November 2019, we saw that there was a workshop hosted by IBM Quantum at New Lab in Brooklyn, and I believe none of us had school or something, so we were like, okay, let's just go. It'll be like an interesting place to learn more about quantum computing and be able to network with these quantum professionals. And when we went there, everyone that was either speaking there or working there, they were all just like, what are these high schoolers doing at this quantum computing workshop? Because most of the people there were a bunch of people there were either from college or professionals in the quantum computing industry. And we were slowly able to network our way, and we met Brian Ingmanson, who was the education community outreach for IBM Quantum, and we sat down with him for a good portion of the afternoon that we were there, and we started putting together or planning a hackathon or hackathon, to get that Q for quantum computing. And we stayed in touch with him from that day till still now. And slowly we started planning this hackathon. And me, Anisha, and Pranav, we sort of thought, why don't we just create an organization that's dedicated to hosting more hackathons and workshops that'll introduce high schoolers to quantum computing. And that's what we're working on right now. We created an organization called Community to introduce other high schoolers to everything and anything quantum computing in a safe learning environment.
All right. Well, first of all, kudos to you guys, because in high school, I wouldn't even know what quantum computing is. So I guess that both shows that I'm getting older, and also that I wasn't that involved in the technology at that point. But maybe just backing up a little bit in your story. So how did, I would probably say, even in today's technology age, to get, high schoolers, especially when you're freshmen and sophomores, interested in quantum computer is at least a bit out of the norm. So how did you guys all get involved, or you and the couple other people in your group, as far as getting together, getting interested, or what sparked your interest in quantum computing?
Well, we were learning about quantum computing through TKS, and as we started to learn more, we were just this is super interesting, because we were we use regular traditional computers at home every single day. And then when comparing that to the capacity of that of and abilities of that of a quantum computer, we were just like, this is so interesting. And quantum computing is also like a very interesting intersection with quantum physics and traditional computing. And it was just like something that we found super super interesting and wanted to learn more about. And
Okay, cool.
pretty much it.
So if you're to do that, so why don't you, for everybody that's new or doesn't know what's the high level explanation of what quantum computing is?
A high level explanation. So basically, quantum computing makes use of quantum mechanical phenomena like superposition and entanglement, and it uses these quantum bits called like photons or electrons as like, which are kind of like the traditional bits that you have in a computer. And by making use of these quantum computing phenomena, um, you can allow these bits or qubits to be both a 0 and 1, like a traditional computer, but it can be a 0 and a 1 at the same time. So it can just do like these huge problems, like when it comes to like space, or like just like any other quantum algorithm that would normally take a regular computer like hundreds of years to compute. A quantum computer, because it uses qubits, can do it in a matter of like a few seconds to minutes.
So if I were to break that down even simpler for those that don't know, quantum computing is almost supercomputing, to where it allows the computer to run much faster by using a different processor, by using zeros and ones at the same time in order to process things a lot more quickly than a normal computer. Did I get that right, or about right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So then you got, and I'll rewind back to the story just a little bit. So you have you got involved. You went to the group or that was doing it on quantum computing. Got connected up with IBM and Brian at the IBM team that does the outreach for high schoolers and that. And you planned the hackathon. So first of all, what is a hackathon, or what if COVID? And we'll get to that in a bit. But if COVID hadn't shut it down, what would you have done at a hackathon, or what is a hackathon?
Well, obviously, we wanted like high schoolers that either had some code that are interested in like the tech field to come out and like be a part of the hackathon. So obviously, we expected not a lot of them to have experience in the quantum computing field. So like a good portion of the day would have just been like providing them with IBM's like workshops, like how to code using their platform Qiskit, and just like explaining the basics of quantum computing so that they would have been able to create some kind of algorithm or like business idea almost to present to the people that would have graded it. And just like we just wanted them to become interested in quantum computing, and that was our main goal of having the hackathon, providing like just sparking their interest in quantum computing.
Okay. So no, that's interesting. So a lot of it is creating ideas, how you use quantum computing, explaining what it is, getting people excited, which I think would have been a great event. And then obviously I ruined the ending in the sense that then you had COVID that shut schools down for the large part. And so it sounds like you at least postponed that or put that on hold, maybe sometime in the future. Or how will that end up playing out?
Well, we were able to get sponsored by NYU as well. So they were going to let us host the hackathon at the Hemmerdinger Hall, which is in New York City, obviously. And New York City became, unfortunately, this hub for COVID. So we had to make the decision to postpone it. So when everything calms down, probably like either near the end of this year or the beginning of next year, we'll probably try and have the hackathon like happen.
Okay, cool. Well, that will be exciting. Interested to hear when things calm down a bit and go, hopefully return back to normalcy, how the hackathon goes. So in the meantime, it sounds like you kind of, in light of that, or in addition to that, you guys started, I think it was community. I think it's community.tech. Is that right?
Yeah,
so maybe share it. So you kind of pivoted, or you're saying, hey, rather than just do or shut things down or wait for things to go back up, let's make an online community for quantum computing, especially for high schoolers. Maybe just if you can share a little bit more about what you guys are doing there and what resources it provides and how it helps high schoolers.
Well, so when we were planning the hackathon, we were like, this is like really, really interesting. Like, and we were pretty interested in hosting more of like these events where we could get high schoolers involved with quantum computing. So we were like, why don't we create like a quantum computing community or a community? And we started we like made the website, but like we rebranded it now like sometime in January, and since then we've just been trying to create like a community for high schoolers where they can like easily access information about quantum computing and learn. And in light of this COVID situation, we saw how like hackathons were, and like other courses too, like a lot of colleges were putting materials online so you could access and like still learn stuff online. And we thought, why don't we just create online workshops where we can still continue to teach high schoolers about quantum computing. So that's currently what we're working on. We're working on like marketing and creating the workshops that we plan on hosting sometime later this month or early June.
Oh, cool. So what kind of, so you guys, this will be workshops, you'll do as a webinar, you'll do online, and people can come and join?
Yeah.
Are you guys going to do the websites yourself or webinars yourself? Or are you going to have special guests or combination of both, or what, or how kind of will be the way that you'll be able to, or people will be able to learn more?
It'll be a combination of both. We're reaching out to some of our connections that are really good at like professionals in quantum computing to come and help teach the high schoolers that participate about quantum computing. It's just like any way where we can efficiently teach them about the participants about quantum computing. That's like our main goal. Because obviously, like us three, we probably won't be able to teach as much or give as much of an in-depth explanation about certain aspects as these quantum computing professionals that have been doing it for, they've studied it since college. So it's like a good balance between the two. We believe will help high schoolers learn and have a positive experience.
Well, that's awesome. So if you were to do that, what's the aspiration or the dream? So if you could say, this is where we want it to go in the next 6 months or a year, assuming that schools reopen and your life goes back to normalcy, do you want it to build into a bigger community? Do you want it to become an educational platform? Do you want to have a whole bunch of hackathons, or kind of what's the dream for the next 6 months or a year?
Well, that's essentially it. We hope that our website and platform grows both in terms of like the in-person events and online, because we have a forum where you can post anything related to quantum computing. So we hope that we get more members on the website, and we hope that we can also host more events, not just in the area where we live, but like throughout the country, and become like this hub and like a place where other high schoolers can go to learn about quantum computing. So we just hope that we can expand and help reach more high schoolers and help like teach them about quantum computing as well.
Awesome. So now is a bit of an aside. So have you ever been on a quantum computer? Do you do computer programming? Have you used it? Is it cool? Is it fun? Is it exciting or everything you hoped it would be?
Yeah. So IBM Quantum has the platform called IBM Quantum Experience, and you can essentially just code on Qiskit, which is their like language that you use to code their quantum computers, and it's cloud-based, so and Python-based. So you can just code something, and then they'll send it over to an actual quantum computer, and it'll actually run it, and then you get the results back, which I've used a couple of times. Super cool.
All right. So what's one of the projects, or what's one of the things you've coded that you've run through on the quantum computer?
I did the two main ones that I really enjoyed was there's this algorithm called the Bernstein-Vazirani algorithm, and basically I coded it using, there were like tutorials online, and I followed them and then sent it over, and essentially what it did was it guessed this like one number that I had set for like a secret number, and I sent it, and then it was able to guess it on the first try, which was pretty cool, because that's what the algorithm is essentially created for, so that the quantum computer can guess a secret number in one try. And then another one that I'm currently working on is basically like getting a quantum computer to like write out the number pi as like accurately as possible. And I saw that as the qubits increased, so did the accuracy of it. So currently working on that.
Oh, that's cool. Those are both cool projects. Both again, ones that I would, and I ended up doing. I did in college, did electrical engineering, and I did a lot of computer programming. But even at that, we didn't get access to quantum computing. So you're already well ahead of the game for what versus what I had access to. So that's awesome. So, well, so kind of as we wrap up, and appreciate you sharing all of that. That's really exciting and fun. So, if people are wanting to get involved now, or with high schoolers, or even those that are in college or just interested in quantum computing, you have community. What's the best way to go to? Do you go to the website? Do they email you if they want to get involved? Do they sign up for something? What would be the best way for them to get in contact or to get engaged?
Probably just go to our website, community.tech. You can create an account there. You can also see what upcoming events we have. We have a couple workshops and the hackathon, which has been definitely postponed, but like the website's probably the best.
Hopefully temporarily postponed rather than
Yeah.
indefinitely.
Yeah, hopefully. It'll most likely happen. We've worked pretty hard putting it all together, but yeah, the website, and we have a Twitter and Instagram that we're currently building, hopefully getting more followers in the months to come, but just it's all community at Tech. So
it's QMUNITY or .tech, right?
yeah, the website.
Perfect. And I'll include that in the show notes as well for those that want to go and learn a little bit more about it. They can obviously go and check it out and sign up for some of your courses or webinars, or when the hackathon is back in action, hopefully come and attend. So perfect. Well, thank you again for coming on. It's been fun to it's been fun to hear what the next generation or the upcoming generation that's in high school has already lapped me, and it makes me feel like I need to get back in order and my coding skills. But it's been fun to hear, and I hope that the hackathon, you'll be able to do that in the fall or next spring, and that will be a raging success. And that the creating the community around quantum computing will also catch on, and you'll have a lot of people that start to have interest in it. So thank you again for coming on. It's been a great conversation. And for all those that are listening, if you have any patents or trademarks that you need help with, feel free to reach out to us at milleriplaw.com. We're always here to help startups and small businesses as you guys grow and want to protect your business. So thank you again for coming on, and we'll have to check in a few months and see if the hackathon came through and how it went.
Okay, thank you so much. It was my pleasure.
Okay, thank you.